what really happened in the very beginning, how I even met this guy at all, was I just moved from Arkansas to San Antonio, living in this apartment with my then wife's cousin. Walked outside trying to get away. It was like stressed out, and I see this bearded, burly dude playing a ukulele, and I was like, I gotta go over there and check this out. I'm a musician. Ended up being a guy that he hung out with and played music with. They had, brought me into the group and whatnot, and we ended up playing in a band for a couple of years. And when the band split up, me and this guy had already got like thick as thieves and really meshed well musically. So we just kind of said, sorry guys, we're gonna do our own thing. And then I moved back to Arkansas for a while and just got back 3 months ago,
if that.
And we've been trying to kick back. We've been writing ever since, like on just apps and whatnot. Just he'd send me something, I'd send it back from like 500-600 miles away. We're writing songs, we get here and we start trying to put them on stage. And Kenny, how long is
Man, Kenny's like a second dad to me. The guy who's best friends with my dad and my uncle, and I've known this guy's another second son of Kenny's, and we've known each other since we were 15 years old. We've never played together, but I've always known that he's a fucking amazing drummer.
Badass.
And we've jammed like once or twice since we were 15, but it never meshed until I called him up for this.
Yeah.
Like last month.
So you guys are fresh. They're like brand new.
Whenever we did the first recording of this, the first video we did here, that was when I met Larry.
Yeah, that day.
I met him that day. So
we played Hindsight.
And ever since, everything's been, I don't know, man.
The
trajectory is pretty dope right now.
But the thing about our connection was the songwriting. He had just written a couple of songs before we met, and I got my teeth cut in songwriting with an old friend of mine who passed away named John Campsey. And so I had written songs with him, and then the Beatles inspired me and whatnot, and then I ran into Eric. We got in this band together, and then we just started writing, and it was crazy the shit we were coming up with. Yeah.
That's when I learned that I could write songs.
Is that what brought you back to San Antonio then?
This.
Yeah,
right
music.
This,
music brought you back to Texas.
I literally left everything in my entire life to start this the right way.
Since we were from Kings in 2015, we've written probably 25, 30 songs together. Mm-hmm. And even when Eric moved away, we were still writing, sending clips from our iPhones to each other. Like, hey, I've got this idea. And then he
Flesh
would
it out,
then he would record something off of that and send it back to me. And then I would record something off of that and send it back to him. And then we'd write these songs like this. And then we got GarageBand on our iPhones. And we started recording these songs. And after a couple of years of that, being a whole state away, finally he was just like, screw this.
Yeah, I was done with that shit, sitting stagnant, man. I don't know, like, you got something you want to do really bad, you're kind of feel like you're born to do it. Like, I had to just take the jump, bro. Jump off a cliff. It was pretty crazy, but obviously getting interactive with a bunch of really awesome guys now, and how we're here right now, making moves. So,
do you guys share a lot of the same influences in music?
Well,
yes and no.
Eric comes from a country roots rock background.
Mostly.
Roots rock with that soulful voice. I come from like a Radiohead, ethereal type rock music. Larry comes from straight punk rock and.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Mainly aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive, more upbeat stuff.
Larry played in Tejano bands, metal bands.
My first band was Tejano band when I was like 12. I was the only little white boy playing cumbias.
So it's three completely different styles of music meshed together, and somehow it's working.
I don't even know what you would call it, honestly, because, I mean, I've had trouble with that my entire life. I've always loved every single thing in music so much, and was blessed to be able to kind of chameleon into any one of those as I saw fit, so I never knew what I wanted to do, and then I kind of met these guys and started finding a little bit of a groove, and now the door's wide open, man.
So you tried out for American Idol before joining the band, or was this afterwards?
That was like 2013, I think. honestly, like, I've been getting pressured, man, a lot by family and friends, and like I would like had to travel out of state to go do it, and I kept like, nah, you know.
What was it like? So you went to California and everything?
Yeah, bro, I did it. I was tried out in Little Rock, Arkansas. Made it through that. Made it to. I had to come here, Austin, for rounds 2, 3, and 4. The fourth round was the one where you get your ticket and whatnot, and they sent me to Hollywood, and they flew me out. They pay for everything, feed you, all that kind of stuff. So staying right there on Hollywood Strip, you know. But and there's a lot more politics involved than you would probably imagine.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But it was pretty cool, man. You got to spend 9 days in Hollywood on their dime.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's badass.
And I hugged J-Lo. She was pretty hot. Yeah.
Still tight, huh?
Yeah. Exquisite.
Curvy on the right place.
How was Keith Urban's home?
Yeah, so what's the whole deal with that? You, Keith Urban's a smaller guy, but was
maybe
it him?
his real name is Youth Kerbin.
That's it. I think
At
you're
this
right.
point.
What's the deal with that, though? So, like, you guys gave him kind of like a demo of what you've been working on, and you kind of sampled
No.
something
What it
from
is like to go on that show. Like all the contestants have to give full access to all of their social media, to all of the people there. You know, like the judges and the what you call them, the producers and all that. In case you're trying to spoil the show, you know. And later on, after I had already been off the show, me and this guy in our band in San Antonio had written a song and put it on the internet, and then like a year and a half later there was a song that he came out with that sounded pretty much just like it. so you know, my theory is I got robbed. Yeah. Yeah, so but
It's interesting.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Damn you,
There's only so many
Youth
notes.
Kerbin.
There's only so many notes and so many melodies.
Right.
Hell of a coincidence.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys playing on musically? You play drums. You just got a new drum set. What's it?
Yeah, man. I went from Mapex, which I still love. It's all maple. That's the old one, and then this new one is the D drum. It's a hybrid, so it's really exciting. It's a little bit bigger.
It's dope.
Sounds so good.
It's flashier. It's pretty.
It's bougie, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's been years. I've been chasing my other kick down forever, and then we played a show, and I guess my fiance noticed it. Was like, "Yeah, you're not doing it anymore. Let's go get you a new kit."
Yeah.
Now it anchors. It's fine. It's good. Shout out to the fiance.
And what acoustic guitar do you usually jam on?
Man, I have a Epiphone over there. I've got a Fender. I've got a couple of them, but just whatever handy, I guess. Honestly, I don't do as much playing as singing, but mostly when I'm writing and mixed in. But I do most of my writing with a guitar more than performing.
All right. And your electric?
I've had this thing since like 2008. I've had Les Paul. I've had a Stratocaster, but this fits my sound. I've had it. I bought
Absolutely.
it brand new. Every nick on it's from me. All the stuff on the fret thingy. But you know, you would think the way I play, I'm very technical with guitars. I'm not at all. I don't know anything about these instruments other than I just bought an expensive guitar, and I just play the hell out of it.
Got her looking haggard now. I dig that shit.
Heck yeah,
I
man.
like it.
So, what gets you guys in the like creative space? Is there anything else involved? Whether it's like a day-to-day relationship or like whatever it may be. Like, what pushes your all's like creativity?
There's a mix of that for me. A lot of it comes from a real place. Like if it's gonna be something something been brewing, or you had like, you know, anything, like you had a bad day, whatever it may be, you know, like that'll kick this guy off or me off and send us on some little thought, you know, as a musician. I mean, a lot of folks will understand, you know, just kind of, there's, like you said, you wake up with a certain song in your head every morning, you know, like just at any time. But no, it's whenever you have a vibe and you get around the right person, like that's what he was talking about, the chemistry. What kicks off the songwriting is anytime he hits a note, for some reason my lyric box is always wide open and I can always tap into it, and I feed off of this guy's energy, and then we get everybody, I don't know, man, like the vibes, it's all organic, really.
Yeah. It's always something personal.
Yeah.
With the songwriting. And if it's not a true story, then it's a hypothetical situation where
I was telling him that earlier.
where we are ourselves in this situation
Yeah.
and how we would react. And then it doesn't matter if it's a note, if it's a chorus melody, or if it's just a line. If something strikes a chord emotionally, we just go off of that and then build it from there. And if I get stuck, I send it to him. If he gets stuck, he sends it to me, and then we just finish it
And create it together.
Yeah, what's kind of wild is like a lot of songwriters. You can be in a room with a bunch of songwriters, and like you'll notice that every one of them is on a different wave. They're doing their thing, and you can tap into that if you spend enough time with them, you know. But like, it's not just a natural thing for everybody just to come together like that. But luckily, we're on literally the same exact wave. I know exactly what this guy's fixing to do when this comes to music. It's weird, and vice versa. I think so. Like, I think that kind of helps it flesh out organically whenever we're trying to write too. So, like you said, it's personal. It's all real. And like you said, if it's not an actual situation, how I was telling you earlier, I can hurt my own heart making up a story and thinking about it. So like, I can project myself into a situation and write as if I were there, you know. And so can this guy, you know. So I think that's kind of what. If it's not something that happened to us, it happened to somebody, and we can tell you about it, you know. kind of thing.
The same thing is kind of translating ever since we started jamming with Larry too.
Absolutely.
I feel like I can just look Larry in the eyes while we're playing, and then he'll just give me this wide stare. I'll be like, oh, he's about to do a stop here.
Yeah.
And
Feel it coming, bro.
it just comes completely natural, and that's fucking why we're playing together.
Being a songwriter, and possibly if someone were to buy something of yours, would you sell it, or would you guys want to like just?
I would definitely sell songs.
I'd sell the shit out of it.
100% sell songs.
What
Like
makes
I
you want to
said,
sell it so much?
Show me the fucking money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. I'm not in this shit just to have fun. I love it, but you know, the world keeps spinning, bills keep fucking piling up.
Artistic
so-
expression, all that's great, and we got
I love that.
plenty of that.
And we write songs from a real area, but by God, I think it's worth fucking money, and that's what I want for it. So
You write me a check for $100,000 for a song, I'm signing that bitch.
I don't give a fuck which one it is.
You heard it, Uth Kerbin.
That's right. Yeah, but
I love
as far
it.
as being signed, I mean, honestly, it would be nice to be able to run everything independent. That way, you're not obligated to a bunch of dumb shit. And because when I get to a cap where like that's say, you know, your vision of your monetary, your life, everything. When I get to that point where I see myself, if I'm still obligated to play for someone, then it becomes a burden.
How often do you guys get up here to Austin? Only to play shows, or do you guys come hang out here and watch other bands?
I hang out here all the time, man.
Yeah.
It's great. I love the vibes of Austin. New Braunfels, where we live, is kind of a mini Austin at the moment.
In a way, yeah.
They tell me the way Austin was in the 70s is the way New Braunfels is right now. So we mainly do all the live music around New Braunfels, support local artists, and when there's nothing going on down there, we come straight up here.
Yeah, any chance we get, you know, we try to spread it out as good as we can, you know, because honestly, from Austin to San Antonio, that strip, I mean, we like to try to frequent as much as we can, but definitely Austin.
But yeah, I love this
It's-
town. There's all kinds of
it's
opportunity here.
where it's at, man.
Well, we're down.
Yeah,
Man, we recommend the Clever Name Band.
yeah.
They're the main ones that in New Braunfels that we follow. The rest of New Braunfels, I mean, it's a really good talent pool. Lots of singer-songwriters.
We got and Lucas.
And Lucas
he's-
Taylor.
Lucas Taylor's. He's probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
artists out there. in
But
New
they
Braunfels.
are,
He's pretty dope.
yeah, those are the two artists in New Braunfels that we dig.
Who do they got? What's his band's name again?
Highway Hypnosis.
Highway Hypnosis.
Yeah.
So yeah, badass name. He's a badass guitarist. He's real gritty bluesy, so he's good.
But that's just because it's roots rock and it's our style. So
Yeah,
we're
we
biased.
enjoy seeing somebody do what we do well, you know. But yeah, Clever Name Band and Highway Hypnosis probably two of our recommendations anyway.
Yep.
Where do you see the Austin music scene? Do you think it's going to change at all after this whole COVID fiasco, or do you think it's going to come back
It's
stronger?
gonna change since we're done with it.
Yeah. Aside from the arrogance. Oh man.
Damn right.
I think it's a
No,
good,
man.
I think it's a very good reset. Honestly, Austin has been getting way too big, way too expensive. It's been driving the real artists out, and I think this COVID thing is kind of bringing it It's not going to bring it still back to the start, but it's going to be an improvement. I think.
You mentioned earlier that New Braunfels is the
Austin from the 70s.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that's where most of the artists are moving to, or at least heading
New Braunfels
south?
is Austin without the California, bro.
True story.
Pretty much.
Cool.
No, there's a lot of good singer-songwriters. It's not quite rock and alternative like Austin is. It's more folksy, more Americana, little leans country, but
It's almost to me like, this might not be the fact or the actual case, but to me it seems like all your artists from Austin, all your performers and everybody in Austin that come here and play all their stuff, it's almost like that's where they hang out and write their stuff and kind of just vibe. This is where they do their thing, kind of, you know. Like it may not be that way, but it seems like that to me because everything's so much heavier and like, you know, busting, you know, just going, you know, out here. And over there it's a little more laid back. It's kind of chill vibes. Everybody is kind of a community. It's not quite so competitive, really, but which is both dope. I think the competition and the laid back, I think you need them both. But
All right.
yeah, it's pretty similar.
Was there a turning point in your all's life, like a show or maybe a concert experience that turned you onto this path of being a musician?
you want to go first to me?
Go ahead, and I got mine.
It was 17 years old. I joined a band called Merry Minds. I was a football player and an idiot in high school, but I just played guitar on the side, and these guys invited me to join their band. They were all like 23, 24, and I was this kid, 17 years old, playing lead guitar. And we played a battle of the bands in San Antonio at Jack's Patio Bar. And now you know, Jim knows. And we packed the house. There was like 400 people in there, and I was just looking at from the stage like, what the fuck? And we ended up winning it. And the roars of the crowd from that, and just everyone chanting the name Merry Minds,
Yeah,
and
dope.
getting that victory, that was what hooked me. It was that feeling, that euphoria. God, dude, this is what I want to do.
Heck yeah.
How about you?
Honestly, man, like, I didn't find that until about 8 years ago. I was fully grown. I was always super self-conscious to sing. I loved it. Like, any of those moments like he had, I had, like, alone feeling a song, singing loud when nobody was home. You know what I mean? Like, but moved to San Antonio, and like I said, I met that dude playing the ukulele and ended up with these guys. First actual band that I'd ever been in. And once we got we was practicing and whatnot, and I started seeing what it was actually all about. I was learning from. I'm brand new to this shit, really. You know, it's just like it's been in me. I just didn't know how to do it. You know, but we played our first show, and you know, it was good. It was rocky, but then like once we kind of got cohesive and really brought a crowd, and like I saw some people kind of singing along, and like a note would come out, and everybody would turn around. They knew what it was, and like. It just took over. From that point, it was like, all right, they're paying attention. They actually want to see this. It's not like sitting there with an acoustic guitar and everybody's still talking. They're like gripped. And as soon as I saw that, it was over with, you know. So about 8 years ago, honestly. So I'm a baby.
Hell yeah, man. So you guys are in it for the long term then. Like this is like a side hustle, not even a side hustle, but I guess like a passion that you're going to keep doing for, I mean, you can play music until you're elderly, right?
Dude, with getting married, getting like a good job, having a daughter, I honestly thought, and with him moving away, I thought, man, I'm not gonna play anymore.
Same.
And then we kept sending shit to each other. We kept writing, and we're like, dude, this is good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes back, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, we can do this.
Yeah,
We're gonna play again.
Yeah.
And so all the stuff that I sold thinking I wasn't going to play live again, I'm going to start buying back.
That's right. That's right.
Because, yeah, I'm in this for the long haul. Even though wherever my career takes me or marriage or anything like that,
It's music or bust, baby.
I ain't never going to stop playing.
Absolutely.
Man.
So I know we were talking
earlier.
earlier. Was it music that brought you here to Texas out of Arkansas? Did you feel it Did you feel like Arkansas was like not a toxic atmosphere, but it's just something you had to leave just to be like.
Toxic. Look, my whole family, everybody that I grew up with, they're the people that are like most important to me in my life are there, and there's some good things there, but it's a black hole where I come from. There's nothing to do. Everybody's doing I left for like 6 years, came here to San Antonio, or came to San Antonio, went back 6 years later, and it's like the same cars parked in the same spot. People are doing the exact same thing. Nobody's moving. It's stagnant. So there's nothing, there's nothing for me there, man. And this was what I always wanted to do anyways. And once I found this guy and realized that there was a real chemistry between, you could have that between people musically, and like, they help you open up something you didn't know you had, and I needed that. So, I didn't know how to look back after that, man. It was over with. This is where I'm at, man.
It's home now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, music or bust, I got no other plans, bro.
Cool.
It's number one priority. Fuck
Heck
that
yeah.
job.
And we're working on recording an album, hopefully here at Tomahawk. And we got several shows coming up here in Austin tonight at Maggie Mae's. And then we're going to be playing this 6th Street.
We got Green, we got 6th Street, we got all over. We got our website, QuincyTodd.com, and we got SoundCloud. We've got a few things. Everything's on there if you wanted to go check out. If anybody wanted to...
Facebook.com/QuincyToddOfficial, SoundCloud.com/QuincyTodd, QuincyTodd.com, and ReverbNation/QuincyTodd.
Yeah.
What's up with that name?
I was just going to ask, where'd you guys get that?
I'm Eric Quincy Wood, and
I'm Joshua Todd McCoy.
And we threw the middle names together, and it sounded bluesy, bro. It's like, all right, let's do it. We've went through several. We went through several, and that one kind of stuck.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was actually growing up. I was always like, I hated my middle name, hated it. Now I kind of wear it like a badge, So it's kind of dope.
Different city.
What feels different about it? Is it just not the same vibe that it had?
Just driving through it compared to 10 years ago. That's not the same downtown.
Aesthetically, the vibe. Okay, the vibe. The people that are here, the true Austinites, and the real musicians that are here for what they came here for, keeping it weird. Like being yourself. That vibe's still the same to me. That's still there. I don't think that's ever gonna die, because that's what this place is. But there's also that pressure now. There's like a certain pressure on the outside of that vibe that's sitting there just kind of lingering, and like I said, all the aesthetics too. Like you're leading up to something that used to be just clear as a bell, everything's great, and you're going where everything's awesome. Well, now you don't just get to have that nice drive. You got to see all that shit too, and God bless them. But yeah, I think it's like the vibe's still the same, man, and the intention's still the same. But there's a lot of outside pressure from new vibes trying to bully their way in. They can get some though.
I don't know. Who do you
Californication.
Who do you guys think's gonna live longer, Bob Dylan or Neil Young?
They'll neither one ever die.
Queen Elizabeth.
Betty White.
Did you hear about like DMX ODing lately and stuff?
Yeah.
Would you want to like shed light on any near-death experiences that you've had in the past?
I mean, I can tell you about it, and I mean, like, as far as a words of wisdom or any of that, like, coming from the mentality of knowing what an addict thinks, there's nothing that I could say to benefit anyone verbally at all whatsoever, because I know where your mind's at when you're hearing this shit. But I'm not there anymore, and it is something that is capable of being overcome. But yeah, it was brutal, man. I was severely addicted to a lot of things for a long time, and not by like physical addiction, not like withdrawals and stuff. I just liked it a lot, and I did it all the time, and it got me in a bad rut. And I OD'd, and woke up in the hospital. Had convulsed so hard, my blood vessels ruptured, my throat filled me up with blood, and I was drowned on my own blood, So they thought I was gonna make it, obviously, but here I am, and it's one of those things, man, that even after literally dying and like they wake me up, and then I hear the EKG flat beat before my eyes closed. I heard like shit like that. I still went back and did it again, still used again a lot. And so there's nothing that I could like shed light on as far as to be beneficial to somebody, other than the fact that, honestly, you can make it out, but it's just you got to find your actual niche. I was looking for the wrong thing. I was trying to fit into a mold. And that's kind of my statement earlier when I said, now I'm only living to be me no matter what. And I made my choice like that. And I'm going to do this for a reason. And it's because that OD and all that use was stemmed from trying to fit into a mold and thinking I had to do this to make these people and do this for that person and all this. Forgot who the fuck I was, or never even really knew. But once you find that, and you actually kind of have people supporting that, and you realize that that's kind of a natural, normal thing to do for yourself instead of thinking about how you're gonna fit, then all that other pressure goes away, and that allowed me. And plus, I smoke a whole lot of weed, so that helps. That really helps. But no, man, I don't know. I think it's something you can beat. But that's sad about DMX, man. There's so many artists that's a stigma now. I guess it's not even a stigma. It's kind of a reality. Like, it's kind of tied together, really, like that deep artistry and drug use and addiction and depression and all that kind of shit. But
do you think creativity is sparked from drug use to an extent?
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't done some of the most artistic, creative things in my life completely bombed, because I don't know how to go to a place like that when you're not. You know what I mean? But
it opens certain doors. It
closes the wrong ones, though.
It's not exclusively it doesn't inspire creativity.
No.
But it opens certain avenues of your brain in certain ways that could be beneficial, but in the long run, it's not.
I think in that moment, a lot of people, the artists that are doing that and that are wrapped up in it and stuck in it, is because, like he said, that's true. Every bit of that's true. But I think that the reason it gets confused is because it's such an intense feeling, and you're soaking it all in. You're wiped out, and you're just part of it. So you think you're doing more. It's all. Have you ever seen that Family Guy episode where they're doing their road show, and the music's all beautiful, and then it cuts to where they actually sound, how they actually sound, and they're like, it's kind of like that. You think you're amazing.
It's very
you feel really good, but you're really not. Yeah.
Right on.
Better now, boys. Better now.
That's a good way to put it, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's inevitable because of, first off, technology. And there's so much talent out there right now. And everybody just got cooped up and was forced to get into that creative standpoint. So I think that shit's fixing to get real, man. The things that people are sitting on right now that we have no idea that's coming, our minds are going to be blown.
It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm excited. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Yeah, bro.
Much love. You guys are killing it, man.
Oh, yeah.
And we are Quincy Todd,
Yes, sir.
Eric Wood, Josh McCoy. Look for us
Everywhere.
Austin, San Antonio, New Braunfels, everywhere that'll book us.
Check us out online.
QuincyTodd.com.
Again, thanks for coming by, guys.
Amen.